I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about my ex can't trust me. Well, trust is a really important part of a relationship. It's hard to gain someone's trust, and it's easy to lose it. You know, when you're building a connection with somebody, you have to understand that it takes strength and courage to be vulnerable, and you have to put yourself out there, because, when you're dating somebody, they could physically hurt you, they could emotionally hurt you, you could betray them with lying, cheating, all kinds of things. I mean, people do horrible things to the people that they care about at times. And there's a good chance that you've made a mistake in your relationship. I think we all make mistakes in our relationship. It's just important to be aware that the more you violate somebody's trust, the harder it's going to be for them to stay connected to you, because it's going to cause them physical pain. Some people will find things a deal breaker, right? Certain people will see one situation and say, this is a deal breaker for me, I'm done, right? Maybe it's cheating, maybe it's lying. Each person is different and what they'll tolerate in a relationship. But you want to improve your skills so you can be the best partner you could be for whoever you're with. Today's email coaching is about a guy in his mid-20s. He's with a woman in the mid-20s. And he betrayed his girlfriend's trust. So let's see what happened here, okay? Now, she lives out of state. And he says he's planning on moving to that state soon. Now, he didn't say it was to be with her. When I read it, I got the vibe that that was the plan he had been doing regardless of what happened with her. I don't know for sure, but let's go on. He said, we dated for 3 years. 2 were long distance. Following undergrad together, we had a good relationship, but throughout the past year, my ex felt I wasn't fully engaged in the relationship, that she was carrying the vast majority of the weight, and that I wasn't listening when she raised her concerns. And admittedly, that's true, he said. All right, so there's a lot going on here in that little section right there, right? Because he's saying he wasn't fully engaged in the relationship. She was doing the majority of the work to maintain that connection. And on top of that, when she was saying, hey, I need more from you, he wasn't listening. And he admits it. So you can see it's going to be really tough, right? Because they're long distance, or they were long distance for a lot of this relationship. It sounds like at this point they are long distance. And so imagine you're long distance and you feel like you're the one doing everything to make it work, right? They're going to be frustrated, disappointed. It's not going to be easy to have that connection. 1 month ago, I drunkenly slept with somebody else. The first time anything like this has ever happened. Well, I called him out on this in the email because I felt like he was sugarcoating it, okay? He wasn't saying like it really was. I drunkenly slept with someone else. No, you cheated on her, okay? You could say I cheated on her when I was drunk, but the reason I'm calling him out is because if he's saying it with me, I'm wondering if he tried to do the same thing with her, and that would probably make her even more angry that he's trying, yeah, but I was drunk at the time, and making excuses. It's not going to make her feel any better. It's probably going to make her just as bad. And who could blame her? So he said, devastated by guilt and regret, I told her what happened 2 days later. Well, he did the right thing, because he cheated and he violated the relationship. And I think it was good that he wanted to tell her the truth. He probably felt better after he came clean. But obviously that's going to really hurt the relationship, right? Because she's going to be upset. She's already been frustrated with him, and now this happens. Extremely hurt, she forgave me. But after a week apart, she said she still loved me, has never felt about anyone else like she does about me, but couldn't be in a relationship with me because she was too emotional and couldn't trust me. Well, I think she has a valid point. Not only has she been feeling frustrated and disappointed with you for a long time, trying to get your attention, instead of reconnecting with her, you went off and hooked up with somebody else. That long distance was already, I think, taking its toll on this situation here. And then to violate the relationship like that, that's going to cause some serious issues. So let's see what happened next. She was also really hurt that it took this situation for me to realize how much she meant to me and to seriously consider her needs. And that makes sense to me, right? That adds up. I think she's got a valid point there. During the 2.5-hour breakup talk, 2.5 hours. You could have watched a movie. She cried a lot and kept repeating that she didn't know if she was making one of the biggest mistakes of her life, but by going through with the breakup, I knew the way the conversation ended that night that she was still extremely uncertain about the decision. I don't think she was as uncertain as you think she was. I think she genuinely cares about you, but I think she really felt like she needed to make this decision. After more reflection, she texted me the next day saying a month's time wasn't enough for her to be okay with everything, that she didn't know how long it would be, and she was struggling to cut me out of her life completely. Yeah, so it's tough for her. I mean, all of a sudden she's been hit with hearing that the guy that she's in love with has cheated on her. And she's already been frustrated with this guy because he hasn't been listening to her, and she's been trying to get his attention for a while, it sounds like. I sent flowers to her place 2 days later, and she explained my recent effort, which included a few other small things, hadn't gone unnoticed. Okay, so it sounds like she's thinking about things, okay? You don't want to overwhelm her, but she is taking note that maybe you can change. But I think if you come on too strong here, it's going to wind up blowing up in your face. We spoke again a few days later. She said her feelings still hadn't changed. She only texted me after our breakup because she felt she could no longer reach out to me, which made her feel like she had a pit in her stomach. Yeah, so she's really struggling with this pain over the breakup too. She kept saying she didn't want to get my hopes up, that we would ever be back together, that she was emotionally unattracted to me, and that she still needed time. And she deserves that time, right? Because while I'm sure she does appreciate the efforts that you've made and the small changes that you've made afterwards, part of her is wrestling with the whole idea of, but when I told you over and over again, you didn't really care about me. You didn't make the changes. So you got to be careful here, because if you come on too strong, like I said, I think it's going to make her resentful and just angry at you. I told her I was willing to wait with that risk. She also repeatedly explained that she wished I had done things like the flowers while we were in the relationship together. I mean, yeah. I mean, she kind of had said that. I mean, she implied it, not necessarily the flowers, but the effort, that you hadn't been making the effort. A point she brings up every time we speak. I found this conversation confusing considering she told me earlier that week she had been struggling to cut me out of her life completely. Yeah, and her feelings are going to change about things. And some days she's going to be really angry at you, and some days she's going to miss you. And it's probably going to be a bit of a roller coaster for her as well. I mean, she was probably shocked by what happened. I mean, I'm sure she appreciated you coming clean about it, but, she's going to have a lot of mixed feelings, like I think we all would if somebody cheats on us, right? But then in this conversation, that she's needed to see what life was like without me. Ultimately, we are still broken up. She's very emotional, says she still needs time, and that she doesn't want me to get my hopes up. So she doesn't want to feel obligated, right? I don't think she wants to feel obligated that you're going to put your life on hold because you kind of told her you were gonna. And so she's kind of saying, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I don't want to be held responsible for you putting your life on hold because I don't know what's going to happen or how I'm going to feel or what I'm going to want. Is no contact the right move to get her back? Do you see any hope for reattraction? I've started therapy and your workbooks. Okay, great. So it sounds like you really are prioritizing your own mental health and bettering yourself after this situation. That's great. And that's exactly what you want to do. And you want to do those workbooks 30 minutes a day. Don't overwhelm yourself and review the answers from the day before. That's what I recommend that you guys do. I always forget to say this in the videos, but I say it on the Skype calls a lot. Review your answers from the day before you go to the next one. And then that way it always gets you thinking about previous things that you learned in the workbooks. I think she really cares about you. And I know you're going to that state soon. You didn't say how soon in the email, but if I'm in this situation, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to give her the space. I'm going to leave her be for now. I'm going to let her think about things. It's going to hit her particularly hard, especially when you do move there. And she knows you're going there. I'm sure she knows that. You've been together for, I think, 3 years. So knowing that you're coming there will have a big impact on her, and she'll think about that, especially when you've moved there. And so if you give her some time to process things and, really think about what went wrong, the mistakes that you made, the mistakes that she made, and can you repair this? And then, you get there and she reaches out, you can hang out with her, you show her all the changes that you've made. I think she'll revisit working things out with you, but take it really slow because she's hurt and she's angry. And there's a good chance your anxiety is going to make you want to push your own agenda on her, but don't do that. She deserves as much time and space as she needs before she decides if she wants to give you another chance or not. Because part of her probably wants to, but part of her probably thinks, no, I don't want to because I can't trust them, right? So you kind of have to own up to those mistakes. Don't deny them. The workbooks talk about this, where you got to show her some empathy. That's covered in workbooks 5, 9, and 10. Because it's important that you show, hey, I get it. I understand why you're needing some space here and some time to figure things out. And so, you want to have fun with her and you want to make her laugh and build that connection again. But you also need to show her that you get it and that, slowly kind of let her see that if you guys get back together, it will be different. Okay? So hopefully you guys really enjoyed this one. By the way, I am on Spotify and all kinds of podcast platforms, iTunes. You can check them out there. And of course, if you want to get my help with your situation, you could go to my website, askcraig.net, sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Coach Margaret, of course, is available for Skype coaching. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.